Let's cross the studio. Erin Gunke waiting with Media Watch. Good evening. Now then, tomorrow is the European parliamentary elections. And, well, some of the campaigning ahead of the voting has certainly turned rather ugly. Tell us more.
Yes, it has gotten very ugly because the Brexit party, Nigel Farage's Brexit party, is polling in the lead, expected to gather somewhere around 36 to 37%. You can see those poll numbers there. And this has divided British voters significantly. So we have one video from the BBC that's been making the rounds on social media where we have a pro-Brexit MP who is being lambasted by a Brexit voter. She accuses him of being a traitor, of lying about his intentions to really leave the European Union. And he ends this kind of exchange, if you will, by saying it's people like you that make me want to remain in the European Union. So really divisive, not only for pro-Brexiters and Remainers, but also within Brexiters themselves. In addition to that, we have a Guardian columnist who was kind of hustled out of a Brexit rally in Kensington. He said that while we were trying to interview people, we were surrounded by a very angry crowd, some with a very creative use of the English language, and the police begged us to leave for fear of our safety and a breach of the peace. What a time to be alive. But it doesn't end there. There is a new phenomenon that has taken hold earlier in the week called milkshaking. This is usually carried out by milkshakers, and as its name suggests,
Nothing to do with the pop star Khalees. It's
nothing
a different
to
type
do
of
with
milkshake,
milkshakes, bringing boys to the yard. So Nigel Farage, of course, was milkshaked earlier this week, and apparently was held hostage again on his Brexit bus.
This is when
evening.
someone attacks him and throws the milkshake on
Indeed.
him, isn't it?
They just throw a milkshake. It's really been something that activists have done against far-right candidates. And that brings me to, well, there's one person saying that it actually wasn't true, that he wasn't held hostage by milkshakers, but I guess we'll need to wait a little bit more to see what really happened.
One man's shelters, another man's hostage-taking
Exactly.
situation, I suppose, yeah.
And in a less comical, I guess you could say, incident, we have this Remain campaigner who is named Femi Oluwole, who was attacked apparently by Brexiteers who threw water on him, insulted him, kind of in an expletive-laced exchange, called him a traitor. Now we have this campaigner saying, I don't mind right-wing thugs chucking their drinks on me. I don't mind them poking me in the face with a flagpole. I do mind that Nigel Farage is set to win the European elections on Thursday by calling anyone who opposes a form of Brexit he said would never happen traitors. It's important to note, however, that some Brexiteers have, said that this is disappointing, that this kind of behavior is unacceptable. And it kind of brings to light an interesting debate on what type of harassment is acceptable and what type of harassment is not acceptable. So the people who are calling this out are perhaps not the same people that would be necessarily calling out the milkshaking. So quite a debate on social media about the double standard, if you will. If there is a double standard of how people are treated when they are accused of harassing
Indeed, when does banter become harassment? When does it
Exactly.
become something that is unacceptable completely? And this is set to continue, of course. Nigel Farage under investigation for alleged fraud in his role as an MEP as well, which is worth throwing into the mix. And voters, it seemed, couldn't give a monkeys about that. They just basically want to get out of the EU, according to people who support him, but the others, if they all banded together, would probably outweigh that. Anyway, we'll see how it turns out. I'm taking up your time. Tell us about Theresa May under the cosh. About to resign, perhaps?
Yeah, well, there is a
Or not.
cartoon. Well, it's looking like she's going to stay on. She hasn't been milkshaked yet. Although this cartoon suggests that maybe that's the fate that awaits her. But anyways, things are not really looking good for her as the head of the House of Commons, Andrea Leadsom, has decided to resign, saying that she did not think that the Brexit deal that she had fought for is going to be assured by Theresa May's government. So this is a big blow for Theresa May. Social media users are having, of course, a ball with this. Finally, a hashtag everyone can agree on in this divisive campaign. Theresa May resign. And it doesn't end there. We have, I've never actually seen Game of Thrones,
That's two
but
of us.
we have Theresa May in a Game of Thrones
in a
cartoon,
Game of Thrones, yeah.
resisting calls
and lots
to
of
step
swords
down.
pointing out her looks. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks I guess Game of Thrones. This meme, which is unfortunate, which shows Theresa May walking into number 10 Downing Street and really kind of freaking out when she gets inside and she's sheltered from the camera. So Twitter users, of course, imagining.
Well, we're pretty sure that's not her, aren't we? We're pretty sure.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's not her in the end.
Just checking, just checking. We have a bit of time left. Tell us about World Biodiversity Day.
Yes, I'm not sure this
20
is
seconds.
necessarily good news, but today is World Biodiversity Day, so we have a number of initiatives and environmental activists encouraging people to act with these statistics. Of course, the UN published a report a few weeks ago saying that 1 million of the world's species risk disappearing due to human activity. So we have kind of cute initiatives from environmentalists encouraging people to act, including taking a quiz to see what species you're most like and how that species is important.
And did you do the quiz?
I am a tuna.
That's nice.
I like the ocean.
There we go.
And I like
Okay.
tuna.
We're going to go and do the quiz as well. Erin, thank you very much indeed. Thanks.